hey, I need an SEO expert. Where do I go? I go to Junction Jack. Businesses can just sign up. There's no application process. When you come in, you can pick project. You can pick, I want to do keyword research. I'll use that as an example. Then it'll match you with an expert. So it's like a dating app if you've been on one.
Welcome to the third season of the Simple and Smart SEO Show, the podcast dedicated to empathy-driven, brand-building SEO. I'm your host, Crystal Waddell. I leverage my obsession with user experience to help business owners just like you optimize your website with confidence. Thank you so much for being here. Let's jump into another great episode. Welcome back to the Simple and Smart SEO Show podcast. I am back with essentially a friend of the show at this point, Stephanie Long, who's also known as Mrs. SEO everywhere on the internet. So Stephanie, thank you so much for coming back to the Simple and Smart SEO Show. I can't wait to tell everybody what we're talking about today.
Thanks for having me again.
Let's just get straight to it because I've got tons of questions to ask you about this new thing that you've created. You have created an SEO marketplace, and we are going to dive into like how you came up with the idea, like why you came up with the idea and who it's for. So let's just start from the beginning. Where did you get the idea for this marketplace?
So I've been in SEO over a decade, I think 15, 16 years now. And there's never been a place where you can truly find solid SEO experts. There's Fiverr and there's Upwork, but they're not, I wouldn't call them solid SEO experts. They aren't vetted. And just the last 5 years that I've been doing my own business, I've noticed that people just really struggle to find a really good SEO person. And I can't take on everyone in the world. So I just think that it's important to have people that are vetted that you can refer people to, because SEO is this like dark hole and people can get screwed by other SEO people and ghosted by them. So having someone that has been referred to you or vetted, I think increases the likelihood that you're going to have really great, solid SEO and a partner.
Yeah, for sure. I think I told this story a long time ago on the podcast, but when I first started helping people with their Shopify stores, I had a client who came to me with a new Shopify store that she had paid someone to set up for her. And they had said the SEO elements were included, which at that time I was learning about meta titles and descriptions and all that type of stuff. So it's okay, let's start there. Let's see what you've got going on. Let's optimize those. She sold candles and her store was optimized for jewelry.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Big no.
Yeah. So the first question she had asked me was like, I don't understand why I'm not showing up in the search result. I told her, I was like, it's because Google doesn't really understand what's going on your website. That's the thing. People don't know sometimes what they're paying for and what they should be getting for that money. And when someone tells them, hey, I'm going to set up your SEO, they're like, okay, cool. I don't know anything about that. That sounds great. I'd like to just have that taken care of. But then come to find out it wasn't done or it wasn't done correctly. And they just have no idea.
Another thing is a lot of people come to me from an agency. So the web team told them that it's optimized. And as other people probably don't know, CMSs will default to whatever that first paragraph or whatever that title is. So the web team usually says it's optimized because CMS is already defaulted, but they didn't actually go and do the keyword research. So each page is whatever the CMS assumes it is. So they tell the client it's optimized because it's filled in.
Yeah. And then what's really not awesome about that is when they've made copies of the pages, then you have this copy of the original page that now shows up, just like you said, wherever that first line and first paragraph comes up, it's just a copy of a previous page. So it just all gets so convoluted and wrong. I'm so glad that you've created this because now people have to go a place that they can go where people they can actually trust. Let's talk about like the development of this marketplace. Okay. What was the biggest challenge?
I will say just getting started, trying to find who could help me. I was quoted in the hundreds of thousands to start, and that's obviously out of my budget. So I just felt, and again, this has been over like a 5-year period. So I put it on pause and then really, I'm not going to get funding. I'm doing this all myself. Just last year in one of the women's groups, I randomly posted if anyone knows. See, I thought I was going to do an app, right? I was like, does anyone know app development? And a woman in one of my women's groups was like, yeah, me and my husband are starting a company. We'd love to help you. So that's how it started. And from there, it's just been, I thought it was last January I started. I thought it was just done in a month, right? We both did. We didn't know. They were starting their company. I'm starting mine. So it's been a process. And I have to say, if I didn't have solid, like you and women's groups I'm in and just other colleagues, I don't know how I would continue this. You really need a solid network an advocacy group. It's so hard. It's hard. I cry some days. Like, it's really tough, and people don't talk about this enough. It's really hard.
That's so interesting that you brought that up, because for the last few years, I've looked for that silver bullet. I was like, you know what? There's got to be an easy button. There's got to be a way to put all this stuff together, because all the people who teach about business online are like, oh, just have this funnel and people will come in here and spend all this money and just do this and everything's great. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And it wasn't until over the last year and a half, probably, where I realized, oh my gosh, that silver bullet exists. I feel so embarrassed to admit this, but I was like, there is no easy way to get there. You just have to go through it, and you just have to do it, and you just have to fail, and you just have to learn. And then you just have to sometimes get a little bit lucky. And then, like you said, you have to build your network so that you have great people around you to help pick you up when you fall.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've had to pay for some experts, to be totally transparent. Like, it's not all been free advice, but without that, I couldn't be where I'm at today. So it's still a work in progress. It's wonderful. I love it. And I don't want to give up, but I think we don't talk enough about the hard parts and the bad days and the tears. So yeah.
For sure. For sure. So thank you for sharing that. Now, you talked about vetting personally. Can you tell us a little bit about that process, like how you chose the experts and what the vetting process looked like?
Yes. Initially, when I launch, it's going to be all of the SEO experts that I know in my network. So I've already talked to most everyone. They will be on there because I trust them. I know them. Just like Crystal, she is a Shopify expert. She's a Wix partner, e-commerce, obviously. So she will be on the platform. That is the initial vetting, quote unquote, because I know them. However, you can apply. And when you apply, you will fill out an application, just like a job. And then I will be the one interviewing you to make sure you are qualified to be on there, because this is not entry level SEO. You need to have solid experience. Because I will say, on Fiverr and Upwork, I did the whole process, and you just take a quiz. And a lot of the questions actually aren't even applicable to SEO. I don't know any SEO experts that actually would do some of the questions. So you take a quiz, you can Google the answers, and then you're an expert. I don't have quizzes. I just need to talk to you and get an understanding for if you know it, how long you've been doing it. There's no quiz, and then you're an expert.
Gotcha. Yeah, I signed up for Upwork and I didn't even have to take a quiz. Yeah, I think it's pretty easy now that everybody can just put SEO expert behind your name.
Like I said, this has been a process for a while. So that's even, okay, that's even more wow.
And maybe I could have up-leveled my profile a little bit more, but I just created the profile and said, okay, here we go. But so what type of key qualities and skills are you looking for with the experts?
I want them to have, I'm not going to put a set amount of years on it, but I want to make sure that they have enough experience that they're not going to have to, ask questions to someone else in the sense that, oh, I have to hire someone because I don't know the answers to these questions. I want that person to be able to answer my questions. I want the quality to show in their work. I want examples. What have they done? I may even ask to talk to a former client. If you know the restaurant Nobu, the high-end sushi restaurant, this is the Nobu to McDonald's. You want drive-through quick service, you got to Fiverr Upwork. You want white glove, high-end, you go to me. That's why it is going to be a process. It's not going to be easy because I want to really vet you. Of course, I'll probably make mistakes along the way, like we all do, but that will be the vetting process. It's going to be pretty intensive.
So in the world of SEO, what do you think separates a good expert from a great one?
I think being honest. I think because I know so many people that will go and do SEO on their website, but they don't know what they're doing and they'll say it's optimized and it's not. A good SEO expert can admit, I don't know this industry. I need to research it. I'm not going to just throw keywords on there. They are open and honest about what they know. And I think that's good versus great. I think good will just do average work, not explain what they have done. They aren't very good at articulating it. I think great people are articulating it, are okay to say, I made a mistake, I don't know, and let me fix this.
I think that's such a good point. And I think sometimes with SEO and being new at it, there's this pressure to provide data immediately. Being like, okay, this is what's going to happen, or this is what's happening, or whatever. And really, the first step needs to be strategy. And like you said, I just want to clarify, because you were talking about you don't want people coming on that have to do research. I know you're talking about you do want an SEO who wants to research the industry that they're about to serve, because every industry has its different quirks and its different strengths in terms of where to be found in search and all sorts of different things. And so you're so right that if you're getting this kind of cookie cutter feedback right away for your SEO work or quote or whatever, I would question that, because it's really, how much do you know about my actual industry and my actual website? Have you looked at my website? You know what I sell, because I've been approached online from people who are SEO experts trying to help me with my website. And I'm like, have you even taken the moment to understand like what my business actually does?
I get that too. I'll get you 1,000 backlinks, which is links from other sites to my site. I get that in my LinkedIn DMs all the time. Yeah, and good point. Thank you for clarifying, because I don't want somebody applying and then they're just Googling the latest SEO trends. I need like solid work experience.
Okay, so for a business owner who may not fully understand SEO, what do you think is the benefit of using your marketplace versus just trying to find someone independently?
What usually happens is small businesses will go to Fiverr or Upwork, and then they'll come to me to clean it up. So you're going to pay a little bit more, but you're going to get a solid SEO, great SEO person from the get-go that's going to set you up for success. So do you want to pay a little money now and not have an optimized website? Or do you want to come and pay a little bit more money and have a great SEO expert do this for you, so you don't need it cleaned up and you don't wonder why you're not showing up in the search results?
So if I'm a business owner, how do I get to your marketplace? Because we haven't even said the name of the marketplace, so we should probably do that. And if you have a domain name, like where do I go? And how does going to the marketplace simplify me finding what I need?
It's Junction Jack, and my URL is junctionjack.co. So JUNCTIONJACK.co. I want to say a little bit backstory about the name. So I will say naming something is one of the hardest things I've ever done. I did just a kind of a generic name in the beginning, and I thought it was great. And then I was asking around, which again, you need your community, your network. And a trademark lawyer in one of my women's groups actually approached me and said, I think that you're going to run up against legal issues because I was using the similar name to another big company, which I didn't even think about. I didn't know. And she's like, they could sue you if you become big and you take some of their marketing, essentially, is what they would say. So I had to get out my thinking cap hardcore, like for a whole weekend. I just sat and thought. She's like, think outside the box. Like Bumble, the Bumble app, is all about women and queen bees. And then there's Hinge, the dating app, like connector, like a Hinge door connects, right? So I did Junction, because Junction is a connector. It forms two things. And then Jack, because my cat passed away from cancer right around the time I was thinking of the name. And I thought, because I wanted to give up at that time, and I knew he would want me to keep going. So Junction Jack is how the name got formed. And it's now in the trademark process. So yes, that is the story behind that.
That's an amazing story. Thank you for sharing. It's like super cool. And I think everybody's going to remember that now, because I wonder what Jack stands for, but now I know, and now I remember, and I'll never forget that. So how do I go to Junction Jack and connect with the right person for me?
Yes. So when you go, businesses can just sign up. There's no application process. When you come in, you can pick project. You can pick, I want to do, let's say you know what you want, keyword research. I'll use that as an example. Then it'll match you with an expert. So it's like a dating app if you've been on one. So you have a project. Let's say you do keyword research. Like I mentioned, it will show you all those SEO experts that filled out their profile that said that they do these kind of projects, or they do keyword research. So you can choose from that, or you can search on your own and find somebody else if you didn't like any of those matches. But if you don't know what you're doing, like you need SEO, I have a quiz that asks you some prompts. And then at the end, it will tell you, we think you need this, and here's the experts that match to that. So that is the different processes. And again, you don't have to do either. You can just start searching. And SEO experts on the flip side can search for projects.
What are the new rules for business? Listen to Challenger X to find out.
You publicly talk about how much you've exited for.
This makes sense, okay? So people don't talk about this. I don't understand why people don't talk about it. Just tell them the damn number, right? It's not like, so I say I sold my company for $56 million. That's not how much money I got in my bank account, right? There's a whole bunch of other calculations that go on after that. So just tell the number, because it's useful for other entrepreneurs to know. Most companies exit around $30 million, right? I talk to people all the time. It's like, oh my gosh, if I can't get $1 billion exit, I don't know why I'm bothering doing that. Most companies exit for 30 million. You should know that kind of data.
Like what you hear? Listen to Challenger X for more.
Very cool. I like that. Okay. And so do you foresee in the future maybe expanding the marketplace to do other digital marketing services, or will it stay focused on SEO?
Right now, obviously things can change, but right now I just want to really focus on SEO and get this really solid. Maybe a partner, maybe I sell, I don't know. But right now I just feel there's just this deep need and I want to just get this solid marketplace for SEO experts and businesses that know, hey, I need an SEO expert. Where do I go? I go to Junction Jack.
I love that. Okay. So you've invited me to be a part of Junction Jack. I know you mentioned a little bit earlier that I'm a Shopify partner and a Wix partner, and that my background is in Etsy and e-commerce. But could you share with my audience like why you thought I would be a good fit for Junction Jack?
You and I have been talking for several years. I've been on the podcast before. So just being able to talk to you about SEO, you understand. I have total confidence that putting you on there, if somebody found you for their project, that they would be in great hands. That's what I worry about. That's why the vetting process is going to be more rigorous, because I want to make sure that everyone on there will be in good hands when they find their SEO expert. So you are very fluent in it. You post about it all the time on social media. Again, we've chatted multiple times. So I already trust that you know what you're talking about.
I appreciate that. So what advice would you give to an SEO professional right now that's listening and says, I want to become a part of the vetted community? What would you say their first step should be?
Yeah. So right now, there's just a landing page to sign up for information. But if you just go and put your name and email address in there, I will be announcing when I'm looking for SEO experts come January. And then I will send out the application. You will just get in my email list to send that to you.
Awesome. Okay. So let's go back to the business owner perspective, like looking at SEO now versus how it's changed over the years. Like what SEO trends are you seeing currently that business owners should be aware of? And how do you feel the marketplace will adapt to those changes?
Yes, I recently wrote an article on AI and machine learning and how your phones, Alexa, Siri, whatever you use as your voice assistant is really going to become your assistant. Voice search is going to be so important coming up. If you are continuously serving up good content, your voice assistant, so your assistant, will know, okay, this is a good website. They keep serving up content that my owner, as in you, is interested in, clicks through. So they will start serving up your website again and again. So doing voice search, and back when I first started, it would be very short terms. SEO Seattle. What does that mean? Now it's longer. Where can I find an SEO expert in Seattle? So more, it's how do people actually talk? And to the voice assistant, they will start recognizing how their owner is talking. And so it's very important to write your content for voice search, because that's becoming huge.
Yeah. And that is so interesting, because I would say that was my very first exposure to SEO. It was back in maybe 2016 when I heard someone talking about voice search and the fact that you wanted to be the company that Alexa served up, or any voice assistant served up when someone was looking for what you sell. And for me, I sold senior night gifts. And so I remember that moment exactly, that I thought, you know what? I want my business, collagenwood.com, to show up when people say, where can I find senior night gifts or a gift idea for my senior athlete? It all started with voice search. And that was before I knew anything about SEO. So I think it's so interesting that this whole thing is coming full circle.
It's like fashion trends, right? They go out of fashion, they come back. Keyword stuffing, when I very first started, that was a thing. That's never going to be a thing again, right? Some trends just never come back. But yeah, I think a lot of trends come full circle. And that is one that's, as in machine learning, are becoming so prominent in our everyday world. We need, as SEO experts, to think about how do we adapt to how people are searching. And people are on so more, right? And so Google My Business is important for local, making sure your Google My Business profile is optimized for those local searches.
Yeah, it reminds me also of QR codes, because there was a point where they were like, oh, QR codes are done for. And they are so here to stay, at least right now in 2024, because even on commercials, oh, that's so smart. I can just hold my phone up to the commercial and go to whatever page they want me to land on. So exactly. Okay. As we see SEO evolving in the next few years, what role do you hope that Junction Jack's going to play in that evolution?
I want people to continuously be learning that are on my platform. So I want them to always be updated on the latest trends. But I really want Junction Jack to be the go-to platform oh, you want the latest SEO? You go to Junction Jack. Like that is who you go to. And I'd love to be able to partner with agencies so that when they have clients that need SEO, they come to us. Because I know agencies can't do SEO. I started an agency, but I know it's not their bread and butter and their main thing. I hope that they want to give their clients great SEO. So then Junction Jack is their partner for that. That's what I hope evolves over the years. I guess we will.
I love that. And the name Junction Jack, that is just such a fun name to say. How would you say that your personal experience as an SEO expert, not only as an agency owner, but as a freelancer, how does that influence the way that you're going to run Junction Jack?
So I want every customer to have white glove service, right? So that's what I expect from people on there. If they don't want to give excellent customer service, this is definitely not the platform for them. And I know that could sound, well, duh, everyone's going to give excellent customer service. That's not true. So I just want that to be out there. But I also want to be fair. Like I want people to know that while this is where you get your greatest SEO experts, I want the partners also to, like, for instance, if they need social media people, that I will have a partner on there. You had mentioned if I'm going to go out to other digital marketing, I'm going to have partners that will do web development, social media. So just because I am only doing SEO, you can maybe find a partner to do social media. It's continuously evolving.
And I really like that because, again, people are constantly looking for referrals, and the word of mouth phenomenon that has always existed continues to persist, even in a world dominated by large language models and big fancy terms like SEO.
Totally. Yeah. My client base is referrals. I only use everything that has been built from Mrs. SEO to Junction Jack is all referrals. Everything from every lawyer I've used on Junction Jack, which is a whole nother thing, getting that legally sound, to the web development, to the design. That has all referrals. So it's a big referral.
So I'm curious, going back to this whole development process, have you fallen in love with developing something like this? Is that something that you want to explore more in the future? Or do you think that you've had enough?
I've had enough. Yeah, I think the next thing I would do would have to be a passion project, because this is so much time and I do have a deadline because I'm speaking at a conference next year and I would like it to have some legs before I go. So it'd have to be a passion project that if it doesn't launch for 5 years, I'm okay. I work on it little by little. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
So what conference are you speaking at next year?
Yeah, possible in Miami.
Oh, nice. Going to the warm places. So you have your website, mrsseo.co, and you have junctionjack.co. Where else can people find you if they want to talk to you a little bit more about becoming a part of Junction Jack or finding an expert?
Yeah, so you can email me. So it's Stephanie, that's with a PH, at mrsseo.co, or on LinkedIn. That's where the social media that I'm most active on is LinkedIn.
And before we head off, is there anything else you wanted to add or share about what's coming up for you in the future?
I think that this is just going to be a really exciting venture. I can't wait to get it off the ground. And if you are a business listening, I think that you definitely need to check this out and see what SEO experts are on there and how they are going to transform your business in the coming years, because you need to be on top of the latest SEO trends. And I don't think other marketplaces offer what I will offer. After I get this all done, I want to launch courses on there as well that you can purchase. But that's what I hope to do in later 2025.
I'm really excited to be a part of your community, and I'm excited to get started as part of Junction Jack, and just really grateful that you included me in your launch.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, that's it for today. Go check out junctionjack.co so you can stay updated on everything Stephanie's doing there and be ready for the launch in January 2025. I'll see you next time.